Hi, Judy.
Hey Liz, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for taking time out of your day today to do this. I know,
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
yeah, I'm excited to have the conversation and for people to hear all about you and your journey here, and then for us to do a coaching session and find out where you're at and move you forward just a little bit.
Right. I love it. Yes.
Good. Well, just for everyone who's listening, could you just give us a little background so they know a little bit more about your journey as you came to Target 100 and what's happened to you here, and then we'll jump into coaching.
Absolutely. Okay, so I would say I'm probably your typical person that has went through many different programs over the years and put a little money in this and a little money in that and bought this book and this plan and that plan, and the list goes on and on. One day I happened to be on YouTube. I've listened to a lot of health and wellness videos. I actually listened to them going back and forth to work, but they're on YouTube, and I ran across you. And I found it very interesting. I think it was probably an event similar to this that I was listening to on my way to work. And I thought, I'm going to research that and see who this is and what it's all about. And I bought the book, read it from cover to cover, highlighted, tabbed it, all the things, and actually started, working the pillars slowly, just like it said in the book. But for some reason, just like other times, it kind of stuck for a while and didn't. And then I went back and forth and, dug in, tried again. And then I just wasn't able to get it together. And I kind of felt like I've gotten to a point where I felt almost, and I know I've heard you mention this before, I felt a little bit broken. Like I'm, I, I guess this is just my life from here till the end of time. Maybe this is just my cholesterol is going to be high and my health is going to decline. I thought, well, maybe I just don't have it in me to do what I need to do to keep my health good. But anyway, I saw where you did foundation classes, and I think I actually passed it up 3 rounds before I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to see, maybe this will be the answer for me. And honestly, not just in my weight loss journey, but in my life. In my life, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to try not to cry, but this has really changed me. I have went from like a state kind of like in depression. It would hit me in waves, and I would write it off to menopause, or I'd write it off to this event or that. But really, I mean, now that I'm on the track that I want to be on in life, and doing the things that I want to do, and I'm down since I did the foundation. Let me back up. I did the foundation class. We finished it a few weeks ago, and I'm just living the life right now. I joined the membership, so I still get the Zoom meetings, and just kind of doing it on my own, but doing the Zoom as well. So I think I was like at 3,000 steps a day when I started with Target 100. Now I'm 10 to 12,000 a day. I've signed up for 2 competitive 5K races. I conducted a 5K with my office staff, and everybody loved it. And so now we're all doing it together. Like, we walk after work, and we're doing the Couch to 5K app to build endurance for the 5Ks. I'm just I'm just loving this. I mean, it's exactly what I needed in my life. So I lost 17 pounds during the period of time. I lost, I think it was 4% body fat so far, which they say that's really good. I don't know.
Really good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm having the girls here at work do worksheets with me. We're just like a Target 100 family now. um, Things have definitely gotten better for me. I feel happy. I just feel really happy. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it. But anyway, I'm ready for you to coach me. So what do
Ah,
we have?
good. Well, like you and I have done these calls. Everyone who joins gets a free coaching call. So you've been through these before. And my goal is always to help you to just move the ball down the field, like to understand how this is a constantly shifting landscape and how to keep that going. So talk to me about the places in which where are you kind of thinking, like, as I know usually people as they get on these calls, they've got questions or they've got concerns, or like where is your agita right now? Like where are
Yeah.
your points?
So are we talking about some points where I feel like I could use some coaching improvement
Yeah.
in areas? Okay. So yeah, one thing that I've kind of gotten a little more comfortable with, and I feel like I should probably get back on track with it, is the tracking. Um,
Mhm.
I I'm at a good place where I, drink my 100 ounces of water a day, and I don't really need to log it. It's pretty automatic. But like on my carbs, I haven't been, I've got, how at first had such anxiety about I have to track, or I'm not going to be able to do this. Well, I kind of got past that and I haven't been tracking as much, and I can eyeball and kind of tell where I'm at. But yet I haven't been losing any weight, and I still feel like I have a little ways to go. And I'm going on a cruise and leave 2 weeks, actually a week from Wednesday, I'm leaving. And I had in my head, and I know it's just a number, but I had in my head that I wanted to be down 20 pounds by the time I go on this cruise. I am 3 pounds away. And I feel like, yes, I know I can do this. But I feel like it's because my portion sizes are probably a little, and I'm not tracking. I'm looking at it saying, okay, you're a 4 ounce piece of hamburger meat, hamburger or whatever, but it might be 6 or 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being just real disciplined with that. So that's one area I would like to improve.
Love that. Well, and you and I have been going back and forth in the DMs a little bit. And like, I love that you're talking about this goal. We had such an interesting conversation around, right? Like having a goal and wanting to achieve that goal and, making sure that we get there. And when I have a goal like that, I think it's really awesome. Like I love it was the hard part about COVID, to be honest, was that we lost out on so many events that would
Uh-huh.
make us want to walk onto that ship looking and feeling a certain way and buying certain clothes and like imagining ourselves in this situation. We are constantly visualizing, right? We're visualizing. And when we have something positive in front of us, we visualize these positive outcomes of and when we're feeling good, like you are right now, we visualize these wonderful things happening. We're going to have fun on the cruise, and we're going to go do all of these activities because we can run now, and we're stronger, right? So you start visualizing very positively. Your question to me, which thought was so interesting, because you learned a lot about diet mentality, right? Was like, okay, is this diet mentality for me to want to achieve this goal? And I just kind of thought it was really interesting question of like, I love goals and I love you having them out front of you. What I always say is like, if we ended up losing 19 pounds instead of 20, like, oh my God, right? Like I always
Right.
tell those stories around like this woman who I worked with many years ago who lost 73 pounds instead of 75 pounds before she went home to see her family at Thanksgiving. And she felt like this major failure, right? Like even my goal setting is ish, right?
Okay.
Even my goal setting, but that doesn't mean I don't try to hit the goal, because
Uh-huh.
you would in your regular life, you would try to hit your goal, right? Like at work, you have goals, right? So you do everything you can, and you pull out all the tools, and you do all the things to hit those goals. So with the woman who lost the 73 instead of 75, I was like, wait, you just lost 73 pounds. And you
Right.
can't even be happy about it because you didn't do X. And I kind of joked with her. I was like, do you think your family, who hasn't seen you in a year, is going to go like, you only lost 73? You didn't lose
Yeah.
70?
Where's the other two?
And I said, do you really think that your clothes are going to feel different if you only lose 19 instead of 20? Like, you are going to feel amazing. You lost 19 pounds or 20 pounds or 21 pounds or whatever it is. So when I'm focused on a goal, and now that we have these wonderful goals and trips and graduations and all these things back in our lives, they give us this wonderful forward thing to focus on, instead of, which a lot of us do, is like look back and what we didn't do and what we aren't doing and what we haven't done. And instead, and you said, if I ratchet up my program right now is that diet mentality, which is what I thought you were asking. Did I interpret that correctly?
That is correct. Like, is that valid to say, I want to be at 20, I'll do whatever it takes to get there? Or is that even, I mean, is that, I'm asking, like, is that perfectionism that I put in place and not accepting that, yes, look what you have done, and accepting that that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, and this is why I wanted to have this conversation and thought it would be such a good one, is there's a very fine line between those two things, and I don't think at all when we are, let's start with the perfectionism piece. When you've approached me with the awareness
Mhm.
that I want to celebrate what I've done, but I also want to achieve my goal, I'm golden with you because you're living in the right brain space of like, I'm not going to beat myself up if it ends up only being 18 or 19. I have done something incredible, but I want the 20,
Yeah.
right? It's
Right.
like when you see something at the store and you're like, I don't really have enough money to get it, but I'm going to pick up that extra shift at work and I'm going to earn the money and I'm going to go get it.
There you go.
Right? It's very similar. So I want you to go get things in your life. Like
Yeah.
go get it. And you have the tools now because you took the
Mhm.
class, you read the book, you have the community surrounding you. You know that tracking works. And I
Yep.
always tell you this from day one. I don't want you tracking for the rest of your life, but I sure do want you pulling it out when you need it. When you're
Right.
trying to reach a goal, it's an amazing tool. So you may just want to pull it out. But I also think when you pull it out as a tool and
Mhm.
not as I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, but I'm going to do this because I want to get on that cruise hitting my goal.
Yeah.
Right. And in the past, when you had a diet that took you to a goal, it was a diet. Everything
Mhm.
you've done here at Target 100 is a lifestyle that you don't want to come back. When you come back from the cruise, are you like, I don't want to do Target 100 anymore? If I ever,
No, I don't think I'll ever say that in my life. I
so
mean,
you're
I'm a lifer.
coming back to a foundation that is supportive of keeping your goals. Whereas I don't know about you, because I did many, many diets to go on vacations, including my honeymoon, where I like almost killed myself to lose
Right.
like that last like extra 10 pounds. Like literally, like took like crazy like stackers and would run on the treadmill like 3 times a day and like doing crazy stuff. I'm not telling you
Mhm.
to do crazy stuff. I'm telling you like pull out your
Just
tracking
just
again.
track. Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
just track it and see what you're doing, and
Right? It's not all or nothing, but it's pull the things forward that you know tighten the plan. Product 100 is ultimately flexible. I always use that image of an accordion, right? So
Mhm.
sometimes we're like kind of like chilling, we're leaned back in the chaise lounge and we're like, I'm on autopilot with the Target 100. I'm good. If I wasn't going on this cruise, I'd be fine if I lost a pound a month. Like, but I'm going on this cruise. I'm going to shift that chair. I'm going to sit up straight and I'm going to drive this car. But I also know how to relax and I need know how to lean back. So
Right.
I want you to know how to really move that accordion within the program. And as I say, when you come back, you have this wonderful thing waiting for you that isn't this horrible thing that you did to lose weight that you can't imagine ever doing again when you get back. You're going to try to get on this plan, but you hated it so much that it literally gives you nightmares to think about ever eating that food again.
Mhm.
These are totally different.
Totally different. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how does that make you feel?
That makes me feel better. And it makes me feel like I want to tell myself, okay, yes, I do want to tighten the reins, and I really want to get there. I really want the 20. I just want it. But if I don't, I'm not going to be mad at myself. And I'm going to understand. I'm going to look at my list of things that I have written down and know that I've done really good. I've done a lot to get to where I am today. I remember way back in the beginning, one of your classes, you told us to do the visioning thing, and we had to shut our eyes and like literally, and that was probably January, I think. And I was thinking about that cruise then. I was thinking about then, and I was envisioning, okay, I'm not going to cry, but I could cry. But I was envisioning how I feel and look today. And I'm a different
I'm gonna
person
cry.
today. I'm a different person today than I was in January. I'm not even kidding you. I just feel so alive and well. But I know there's still work to be done. There's always
There's
that
always
never
work to be
ends,
done.
right?
It never ends.
Yeah.
But when you enjoy the process,
Yeah.
like I think about my job or, like the just like I've the work never ends, but I love every minute of what I do. But sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes I question myself and I doubt myself, and the mean girl shows up in my work
Yes.
life. Just like in this thing. It's
Uh-huh.
work, but I enjoy the process. I refuse not to enjoy the process.
Right. Yeah.
Even that's why I kind of want to like have fun. You say you've got about, it sounds like almost 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks from
Right.
yesterday.
Yes.
So
14 days.
14
We
days.
board in 14 days.
Yes. So I love to take all 6 of the pillars. Let's just go pillar by pillar and
Yep.
do what I call tightening the edges, right?
Okay.
We're just gonna cinch our waist for
Okay.
doesn't mean, right, it's just like anything else. You can let that thing out a little bit when you get home. You can keep it cinched, but we never don't learn something by trying. Just like you said, you learn something from everything.
Right.
So let's go pillar by pillar. I think we kind of hit the food pillar because I was taking notes here, and it sounds like tracking.
Yeah,
If
and
you
like I know what to do, but I think I just need you to tell me to do it.
Well, and I know you so well. The reason when you were talking about the book and reading the book, and I know there are some people in the world that are what we call sort of independent go-getters, and they
Uh-huh.
can read a book or they can use an app and they don't need any feedback. And then
Right.
there's like a much larger, almost like triple the size of a group of people who really thrive on support,
Mhm.
accountability, and
Mhm.
community. And you are that in all ways. Like you're a
Yes.
huge part of our community now. You love to, right? Like you said to me, I just kind of needed you to hear you tell me to kind of do it, because then I'm
Right.
accountable to you because you told me to do it.
Right. And then I'm going to come back to you in a couple weeks. You're going to say, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm going to report back. Yeah, I need that. That's important for me.
And that's why we do what we do here at Target 100, is like because we all do. Like I had this great conversation this morning. I was at F45 doing a workout, and this woman next to me said she'd started this sort of 7-week challenge that they were offering. And I turned to her, I said, "Well, why? What made you decide to do it now?" And she's like, "Oh, because for 2 years I had a Peloton and all this equipment available to me, and for 2 years I didn't do it." She's like,
Right.
"And now I joined this place. I got to show up. I have to check the box. They're looking for me. Like, and I'm doing it." So
Right.
support and accountability in a lot of different areas of our life can make it really us thrive.
Uh-huh. And
It's not,
community people. I mean, such a people person, and I
yes,
just love that I can. This might be kind of off
no,
subject here a little bit, but anyway, I can go on the Target 100 page. I call it the wall. I don't know what you guys call it, but literally I go on there and I can put on there if I'm having a bad day. Oh crap, I just ate a whole sleeve of Girl Scout cookies or whatever. Guys, help me. Am I doomed? I'm dead. It's over. And within an hour, probably I have 4 people coming back at me. Judy, you got this. Judy, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. All these things that help me. And I'm like, you know what? I do have this. It's okay. It's not all or nothing. I don't have to quit because I ate that sleeve of Girl Scout cookies. And the people on the wall help me. And I'll reach out to you or all the coaches sometimes, like, help, until I get those roots really rooted where I believe it and know it without all the help.
yeah. Well, so I think you've mentioned a couple of things that are going to be really powerful tools for you. Okay.
Okay.
Um, One of them is that you visualized your way to this goal, right?
I did.
I want you to take some time and close your eyes and visualize coming home from this vacation.
Okay.
Visualize yourself setting up your environment beautifully and visualize yourself setting your next goal, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? Because that's where a lot of people get tripped up, is that they come and they hit a goal and then they don't take the time to honor the fact that they've made that goal or hit that event, and then sit down and really think about like, okay, that's awesome. Let me get myself set up for success when I come home, because you're coming back from a cruise. Lots of things that you don't see in your normal life are going to be on that cruise, and that's fine.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't even want you to go on a cruise and not have some of the wonderful things that you're going to see on the cruise.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, enjoy yourself, and then think about how you want to land, right? How would I, like, I call it stick the landing. You've seen these
Okay.
beautiful gymnasts, and they fly up in the air and they flip around and it goes crazy, and then they stick the landing.
Uh-huh.
And so I want you to visualize yourself sticking that landing. I want you to give yourself the time to think about, is there something else that's happening this summer, that you want to kind of work towards? Is it a weight loss goal, or is it your 5K? And there's a time that you want to hit on your 5K, or I'm making all this up, but I need you to come up with the next step in your life, just like you would at work. You have a project, and then the project finishes and there's another project.
Right. And actually, I know what's next. I already have the number two. And the 5K thing, I've done many, many 5Ks in my life, but I've never done one that I was able to jog the whole entire thing. And it's a huge goal for me. I mean, it's a big, whatever you want to call it. It's a big
Amazing.
step to take, but I really, really want to do. I just want to do it. It's a bucket list. And
Okay.
I'm not that old yet. I can still do these things.
Girl, you got this. I mean, you've got this in spades. I know it already. Like, I'm so excited for you because you're going to check that one off your list. So I want you to spend some time visualizing how it feels in your body, because you're so strong and you're light and you come through that ribbon at the end, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they give you that medal, and you've done what you said you were going to do. Okay. So
Yes.
just keep visualizing that positive outcome. So there's a lot of science emerging now around the energy that we create towards a positive outcome. We start driving towards it, just like you did with this cruise. You
Mhm.
started taking the actions that supported the vision that you created.
Mhm.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So you just keep visualizing and catch yourself and keep visualizing positive outcomes. So we've already got this. So we're going to visualize how you're going to stick the landing when you get home.
Yep.
Visualize that 5K run, running, running every step.
Running every step. That's the goal.
That's amazing. Okay. That's your sort of next goal. Now, the weight loss thing, which is what we teach at Target 100,
Uh-huh.
it's a byproduct.
Mhm.
It's a byproduct.
Right.
If you're going to lose weight by
It will
working,
come.
exactly, by doing all of these other things, it's almost that secondary outcome of this goal to run this whole 5K, right?
Mhm.
So I love that. So let's go pillar by pillar to kind of tighten each of the corners to get you to that goal of these last 3 pounds before your cruise.
Okay.
Okay, so food, I think it's tracking and portion sizes they came out of your mouth, right? They didn't come out of mine. I'm not telling you, girl, you need to track and you need to check your portion sizes. This is why we coach. We
Yeah.
coach with open-ended questions, because you're going to tell me what you
Mhm.
need to do. I don't want to, I mean, that's why I think it's so funny that they call it coaching, because my only job is to elicit the response from you and help you arrive at how you're going to make that happen. So how are you
Right.
going to make the tracking piece happen and the portion piece happen? What are the things you're going to need to do?
Okay. So are you asking,
Yep.
asking what
I
I
want you
okay.
to verbalize to me what you're going to do.
Sure. Okay. So I think before I ever track anything, and this is another area that I'm weak in right now, not always weak, but at the moment I'm weak at, because I'm work's kicking my butt right now. I've just got a lot
Mhm.
going on, and I've got people are going on vacations. I'm having to help cover for them, and then I've got to go get ready to go on vacation. It's just a lot right now. And I have kind of gotten a little lax with my prepping and planning ahead. For example, today at lunch, it's a perfect prime example. I'm out running a couple of errands and I'm like, okay, I'm on lunch break. What am I eating today? No clue. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I'm driving through town. Okay, I'll run in roads and grab an unsweet tea and hope they've got a salad in the little case, because that's really all I have time to do. So I run in there. Luckily, they had a salad, but I mean, it wasn't what I would make at home. My salads are way, way more better and more filling, more protein, more veggies and all the things. If I just need to somehow make time for myself to plan and meal prep these next 2 weeks so that I'm prepared for days like today. And I don't just grab something that wasn't really that filling and wasn't really that good. And now I want a protein bar to cover what I didn't, all the things.
Yeah. Okay, I
So,
love that. So you
step
said
one is to plan and
plan
prep.
and prep. Yep. And you said somehow find that time.
Yeah.
So what a goal helps us do is prioritize, right?
Okay.
So what I need you to do is prioritize this, right? Just like you're doing at work all day long. You're like, oh, this thing's on fire. Oh, this thing's on fire. I got to put that into it, right? You're constantly, right now, I need you to say, I have 2 weeks left. This has to move up in my prioritization. I'm going to shuffle it up and I'm going to prioritize my planning. I think you have a system that you've worked out over I don't know if you do it on a weekend or if you do it, daily, or if you spend 5 minutes each night planning and prepping for the next day. What's your system?
Okay, so I've done it kind of both ways. I've done the pre-prepping on the weekends for the week, that kind of a thing. That doesn't usually work out for me. I'll prep it on Saturday and it goes in the trash on Thursday. Sometimes, that just doesn't always work out for me.
That's a great learning.
Yeah. So what works better for me? And as you're talking, my wheels are turning here.
Of course.
And I'm thinking, okay, so when I get home from work today, and I will finish supper and do that thing. Before I sit down, I need to go ahead and plan what I'm going to have tomorrow and prep it right then before I ever sit down. Because if I ever sit down, then I'm done for the day. You know what I mean? And I won't, it's just, I'm too comfy. I don't want to get back up. So maybe that would be the good thing. And just one day at a time. For me, one day at a time works better than 4 or 5 days at once, because it's going to go in the trash in a few days. I'm going to be over it.
See, this is what I'm talking about, like graduate level skills that you've got. You've got graduate level skills. Like it's
okay.
So great to hear you so aware. Like you went down to, I cannot sit down because if I sit down, I'm done. That is amazing awareness.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to trigger something. I don't know if we could put a little Post-it note on your island or something. It says, don't sit down, right? We got 2 weeks left. I want a countdown going on. I want I sometimes I make a little thing with squares and I put an X through each day and I put my little weigh-ins as I'm getting to a goal, right? You know what to do. It's right after dinner, which I think is brilliant because you're not hungry. You're not, right? You're clear-eyed and you can make that plan. So for the next 2 weeks, right after dinner, you're just going to take 5-10 minutes, think about the next day.
Yeah. We're not sitting down until we're finished.
Yes.
Not sitting down. Okay. So that, and I really think I want to go one step further and go ahead, and I use MyFitnessPal a lot of time to track and just go ahead and plug it in there. And then I know what I'm eating the next day. And it's not questionable. It's not, what is it that you say sometimes about decision fatigue? That's it.
Yep.
End of the day, I'm done. Like decisions, I can't do it anymore. So I need to make that decision the day before.
That's it.
And it's made for me.
Think about today. The example of today, you had to think about where to go, how to drive there, how to get in the store, look around the store, see if they have the salad, pick the right salad, get to the line. Like there were 50 million decisions that went into your lunch today that we think it's like, oh, I'll just go and grab something. It's not. There's so much decision fatigue that occurs from that. And listen to how you feel now. You're like, kind of need a protein bar, we're already there, right? You're going to have to fight decision fatigue today. Whereas when you just do that thing right for 5 minutes, make sure you're ready, even if you're going out to lunch, it's fine to eat out, but know where you're, know what you're getting, right? Like Don't
Yeah, like literally, and log it, like put it, oops, sorry,
yeah,
like
put
put it
it in.
down. So that
Yeah,
way I don't have to think about it. The decision has already been made.
exactly.
And
So
that's
we
what we're
love
doing.
this. It's a
Yeah.
really great
Yeah, I
point.
really like that.
Yeah. So then, and then we're talking portion sizes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
These are big when we're, and again, this is why I love a goal, because we're kind of like, it's like a crescendo and a decrescendo, right? Like when, if you look at music, right, there's like
Yep.
the, right
Right.
now we're
Yep.
crescendoing towards this
Mhm.
like event. We're like, oh my God, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. We're decrescendoing in everything. We're pulling in the end, in the edges on everything, not because we're going to do this forever, but because we want this goal. We want to buy the dress. So we're going to pick up the shift, right? We're going to do what it takes to achieve the goal. Um, so portion sizes for you, when are you successful? What do you need to do?
Okay. I already know what to do. I
You
know
know
what
what?
to do. I know what to do. We just got to talk about it. So I need, like, when I go out to eat, I know that I do not need a full order of whatever I'm having, even if it's a healthy item. My belly, my tummy is full at about halfway through that entree. And what has worked for me in the past is that I go ahead and when they bring my food out to me, I ask for a to-go plate right then. And not at the end of the meal, but right then. And before I ever take my first bite, I divide that and put the other half in the to-go container. So it's set aside and I don't have to make a decision of when to stop. And so there's that. I know that works for eating out.
Love it.
And at home, I need to probably uh, put it in the app and see like how many carbs it is,
Mhm.
how many well, actually that's all I need to do, right? Just the carbs.
Yeah. That's all
Or
you
at
need.
this point, would you count calories or no?
I
Just
think
because we're trying to.
with, what I would do is I would just always be asking myself, like, am I done? Right. Like, and thinking about like, do I need that much? Could I take less to start? That's how I
Mhm.
do it at home, is like I work off of much smaller plates. And
Yep.
my habit is always to take more than I actually need. But like you, I find it very difficult to stop if it's on the plate. But if I
Right.
start with a small portion and say, I can have more, I'm always fine.
Right. I don't know why, but this may sound silly, but I almost get anxiety sometimes thinking it's not going to be enough. I'm still
Yes.
going to be hungry. Uh, it's not going to take long enough to eat this. I want more. But like you said, I could put it on just the smaller portion on my plate. And if I still want more, it's okay. I can have more,
Yes.
but I don't have to put it on my plate to start with.
Yeah. It's sort of the
And
same.
I've never tested that.
It's a big test.
Yeah.
Test like taking less, right?
And
And
see if I'm just really done after that smaller portion. And I may be.
you may be actually, what I learned, crazy enough, is I feel better, I sleep better, I'm
Right.
lighter, like all of the things,
All
right?
the things. Yeah.
But when we've grown up in a diet mentality of like, this might be the last time I ever let myself eat, there's
Right. Yeah.
anxiety. There's anxiety left over from all the times you restricted yourself. And, we've got a lot of garbage to sort through from that diet
Yes.
mentality. Uh,
Mhm.
I kind of, that's how I've done it. And you're doing it at a restaurant all the time. I'm
Right.
asking you to translate the skill. Just
Mhm.
put half of it on your plate. The other half is in a box in your
Right.
mind. It's in
In
a
my
box,
mind. Right. It's
right?
already put away in the fridge. If I need to get it out, heat it up, I can, but I
If,
might not need it.
if you're falling over and someone needs to cart you away to the hospital because you can't
Right.
get up from lack of
Food,
sustenance.
right? I mean, it's like, Judy, you're fine. You're okay if you
Yeah.
don't eat the whole thing.
Well, and this is why I like your idea of doing this thing right after dinner, of like prepping for the next day.
Mhm.
I would challenge you to do is eat the smaller portion,
Yeah.
do your
I know where
prepping,
you're going.
do your prepping, which will take you 5-7 minutes before you go back for a second.
Right. Yeah. So maybe while I'm preparing this supper, I go ahead and put tomorrow's lunch, that other half right then away. and then I've knocked out two
Two
birds with one
birds.
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of this is reducing decision fatigue all the time.
And this should also reduce some stress in my life because it's really stressful to be like, get up in the morning like, crap, I didn't do it again. I don't have anything. It's stressful.
Stressful because you then again, it's like I was talking to someone right before this, like we call ourselves a weight loss program, but really what I am is like, I want you to feel your best, right? Like when we talk about who we are, it's like we're a company that exists to make you feel the freedom to feel your best.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Just not feeling your best because of a behavior.
Yeah.
So we go examine the behavior and we go in and we manipulate that behavior. And what feeling like, oh darn crap, I'm stressed, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Those feelings don't feel good. So we can change them with these changes, these shifts to behavior that you're making the day before.
Right. And that will also, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that may take care of the 3 pounds in itself.
Yeah.
I don't have to focus on the 3 pounds.
No,
The other stuff.
it's always that. It's a byproduct.
Yeah.
It's a byproduct of like, believe it or not, that negative emotion that you started your day with,
Mm-hmm.
a cortisol release and an adrenaline release of stress, which made you crave sugar and sweets more all day, right? You're going to feel a calmness to your and a lack of needing to make a lot of decisions. It will free up space in your brain for more, for more productive thinking, to be honest.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's interesting that you say that. Even the little exercise you had us do a while back where we cleaned out a cabinet or a drawer in our house, you would think, what does that have to do with losing weight? But really, it really does. I mean, I chose my snack cabinet and I pulled everything out. I had all this junk all over my cabinets and I sorted it and I put all my nuts in cute little rows and all my energy bars and my protein powder and everything. And it's like I went in there and I grabbed my little snack and it was right there handy and it was neat and orderly. And I mean, who would have thought? But it really does work.
yeah, so much of this sort of mental junk and stress, that's why stress is a pillar for us.
Uh-huh.
Any stressor becomes a trigger because every time we got stressed, we went and we ate. And so it's a trigger that there was a routine and the reward is inherent. There's serotonin release. There's all this stuff that happens. So, I think each of the things that we've talked about today, even though we're talking about the food pillar on some level, we're actually
Mhm.
talking about decision fatigue. We're talking about stress relief and giving ourselves the opportunity to achieve this goal by
Uh-huh.
taking action. Right. I always say to people, it was never that you didn't know what to do. Because I mean, if anyone is listening to this, all I have said is like, what do you think you need to do? And you're like, oh, I know what I need to do. You
Right.
know it. But there's that gap between action and intention. So you
Mhm.
hear me talking about triggering these things, making sure like you're going to need to like make sure that small plate is like front and center tonight because you're not going to remember to do this. You have to
Right.
trigger it. You're not going to remember after dinner to stop eating, do the preparation, give yourself a break before you take that second portion. If you take the second portion because you scanned your body and you are truly actually hungry, go on
Mhm.
back and have more food, right?
Right.
But these are things that are going to calm you and create excitement. I want you to get excited about your goal.
Sometimes I think I'm just being silly, but it's okay to want that other three, right?
Who is that mean girl? Can you
Right? I know. Go away.
Hey, can you imagine saying that to me if I had a goal?
No, I would not say that to you. I wouldn't even think it for you. No.
You'd be like, Liz, go for it. You got this. I believe in you. You can do this. When it's our own goal, we tell ourselves we're silly for having the goal.
Right. Yeah.
Right? It's
She needs to
amazing.
just go on. I don't need her.
We need to focus on this. So water,
Yep. Water's good. I'm good there. 100
fabulous.
ounces or more a day.
Movement, I think you're doing great because you're doing all these steps.
Movement. And I looked on the wheel on the app, and so my movement is all the way full every day, the little portion. Yeah. And my exercise, and I was going to ask you about this. I
Yeah.
think you'll probably hit on it in a minute, but on the exercise, so I'm doing the running. It- Is that sufficient? I mean, and it's giving me about 30 minutes a day of exercise. That's
Yeah.
sufficient at this time. I know, like someone at my age, I need to be like working on my muscles to have stronger bones and all the things, but I don't feel like I don't know if I'm ready for that, or I don't know what to do. I mean, maybe get through my 5K and then maybe that'll be another goal.
Yes, I was gonna say, I think for now, the fact that you're building up to a run from a walk and even breaking some of your goals of your past 5Ks of your life is
Right.
enough of a stressor on the cardiovascular system and the musculoskeletal system. As we come through that goal, I'd love to talk about layering up, 15 minutes of weight training here and there, right when you get done with your run, maybe because now it's just like easy for you. You sit down and do some push ups and some sit ups, and we get some body weight. But for right now, especially with the goal that you have to go on this trip, I would just love to see you continue to do your run,
Okay.
like do everything that you're doing, your run walking, your 5K training, everything that you're doing is perfect. And I
It,
love the couch to 5K because it's so target 100, right? Like
it really is because it's little baby steps.
baby steps, you're like running for 90 seconds, walking for 30, running
Yep.
90, walking 30. Next day you're running,
A
you know,
minute and a half. Right. Yep.
it's really helps you, and that way you don't have to get super sore, you don't have to get like, I can't do any more of this. You just kind of like baby step it, and all of a sudden you're running a 5K.
Yeah, I keep saying it's so doable. And I say that about Target 100. It's really doable. You don't have to
Doable.
suffer. I mean, sure, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes when you're changing a habit, but it's not like I feel like I'm going to die or I can't do this or I'm starving or anything, and then nothing like that.
Yeah. No, I think this is wonderful. Running is such a great core workout too. There's almost nothing better than the twisting that occurs, right? It's really great for stabilization, all the
Right.
things we look for as we are aging, core stabilization, cardiovascular health, right? So stick with it, don't question it, leave it where it is. It's getting better every day as we go.
Good.
Um, and then stress and sleep are our last two.
Okay, so I think we kind of hit on stress a little bit, but I feel like I'm kind of a maybe a little high strung or high anxiety type. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I just think I am. And it's mean girl again. I'm really not sure. But I feel like I probably need a little work on the stress pillar, but like, I don't know if it would be like the meditation. Okay, I'll give you an example. I'm the type of person that if I do like a meditation, I'm like, kind of like, is it over yet? Oh crap. Okay, I got 5 more minutes. I can't really get into it. So I don't know if that's just because I'm a beginner with it and I need to practice it more to let it relax me, or if I need to choose something different.
What other things relax you?
Um, I like, and I don't take time to do things like this, but I love to do those adult coloring books where I have a motivational saying and you color in the letters. But I just don't, I don't, okay. I give to everyone else but me. And I'm like, well, I think my husband needs my attention, or oh, I need to call the kids and see what the grandbabies are doing. My life literally centers around everybody else. And I love that. I love that quality in me that I care so deeply for
Yes.
people. But I think sometimes I need to just chill out and take a little time for myself.
Yeah, and that's a habit.
I think I need to, but I don't know
Yeah.
how to make myself do that.
Do you have one of these coloring books?
Oh, I have like 10.
Oh, great, great. I just think sometimes also we make it like a project, right? Like we make everything a project. Like our stress relief is now a project, right?
Like, I
You
got to
know,
do it. I got to do it.
I gotta do it, I gotta do it, right? If I were you, I would put a couple of coloring books out where you can see them, and a
Mhm.
couple of your favorite, if it's pencils or crayons or painted, whatever it is, it needs to be out where you can see it.
Okay.
And I would just say, like, it's okay to be on the phone with your grandbabies and asking and coloring at the same time.
Okay.
You need to chat with your husband and just be sort of like, it doesn't have to be like a focused, but if
And it can be 5 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be a full session.
5 minutes. But if it's out where you can see it and you say, like, I'm just gonna like, I want to fill in the corner of that, like saying just like that last word. I'm just gonna work on that last
Right.
word. And it's just there's a very physical response, right? We talk a lot in the class about how stress is something that doesn't turn off unless you turn it off.
Okay.
Right? It's a radio
Right.
on in the background that you stop hearing, but it's
I do
on.
not know how to turn that off.
Coloring, it does it. We've seen it. It lowers blood pressure. It creates all this sort of stress relief, and it brings all of that hormonal response, the adrenaline and the cortisol down. So I just want you to know it's like a medicinal dose. You're going to give
Okay.
yourself a medicinal dose. 5 minutes
Right.
to doodle while I'm on this phone call, right? I'm just going to like enjoy filling in these things right here. It's calming your system.
Yeah. I think I have always been so production driven also.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think if I'm not accomplishing something, doing something productive, then I'm wasting valuable time or something. But,
Mm.
I did sit in front of the TV 2 hours last night watching Survivor. So, I can't really say that that's so true.
Well, that's great. I mean, I think you're just verbalizing a lot of things that you're starting to question, right? Is like,
Mhm.
it doesn't have to have an outcome. It doesn't have to be productive. It has to make me, where did we start? Feel good.
Yes. And let me tell you, I have come a long way, but I feel
Yeah,
like there's a long way to go too, still work to be done. Always.
always. I'm working every day on this thing. Like, and
Yeah.
it,
And I
and
don't want to stop. I don't want it to ever end. Like
it's so interesting, right?
yes, it is. I just love it.
Yeah. It's, I'm asking you to put those coloring books out where you can see them,
Yep.
because it's just going to trigger you to just put yourself in it for 5 minutes. So,
Writing it down. Oh, you're gonna give me those notes, right?
yep, I've got a lot of notes I'll send your way.
Oh, good. Yay. Okay, good.
And then sleep.
Sleep. Okay. And so I feel like stress and sleep kind of go hand in hand for me. For me, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I could calm down the stress and the anxiety, I think the sleep would come. Um, I've been the type of person that had anxiety around sleep. Like, I
Mhm.
think that I am going to wake up during the night and I'm not going to be able to fall back to sleep. And then I'm like there thinking about that. And then I do wake up in the night and then I'm thinking about something that happened 40 years ago, or I'm thinking about something yesterday and my mind just everywhere, all over the place. And I wonder if I'm able to calm the stress and anxiety down by doing some of those other activities, if maybe I've always taken a sleep aid of some kind. Right now, my thing is I take the, what's it called? It starts with an M, magnesium
Right?
citrate. I take 500 milligrams of that, but I think I need an Aleve PM to go with it,
Okay.
or I'm not going to sleep. It's like, I wonder if it's in my head. But if I don't take the Aleve PM, I'm for sure going to wake up 2, 3, 4 times. But I wonder if it's the Aleve PM or it's me. It's my anxiety.
Well, and here's all I can tell you is it's worth checking it out. It's worth playing around with, of like, okay, maybe I take a half of an Elite PM tonight. And maybe
And
I
I remember the other day you said something like, if I wake up during the night and I'm awake for 2 hours, is it the end of the world? Am I going to die tomorrow? No. I
no.
might feel a little tired, but I'll be all right. It'll be
I will
okay.
tell you, I will give you all of it though. Like being awake for 2 hours in the night does feel like it's the end of the world.
Right. True.
While it's happening, it
While it's
feels like
happening, yes, it does.
like,
And you
because
can't
I'm
force
with you.
sleep. You can't
Yeah.
say, all right, go to sleep right now. I mean, it just doesn't work that way.
But I think, honestly, I wouldn't mess a lot with your sleep right now in the pursuit of this goal that you're in, because
Right.
your sleep is your magical detox time. Okay. So I'm not going to play around with what you're doing in the sleep pillar right now. That would be
Okay.
silly. Okay.
Okay. And I'm getting with my lithium, I'm
Right.
getting 8 hours every night, pretty much. I might wake up one time.
Yeah.
for a couple
That is
minutes.
your time where your body detoxes and does all the things that it needs to do. So
Yeah.
I think this is a wonderful, just, when we are ready to tackle that, or if it is even something you want to tackle, it's your
Yeah.
sleep pillar. Like however you create it, what's right for you is what's right for you. So
Right.
if it becomes something you want to shift, we'll shift it small baby steps over time until we find the
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
So,
I've heard doctors or people on YouTube. I don't know if you know Dr. Mark Hyman. I follow him a
oh,
lot.
of course, love him.
Yes. So he talks about, or maybe it was Dr. Daniel Amen. I can't remember which one, but anyway, they're both really, really good. They talked about the diphenhydramine can trigger the onset of Alzheimer's. And my mom passed away with Alzheimer's. And so I'm just very leery of any kind of a drug that might genetically, I've already got that gene. I don't know if that's fact or if
You have a
what.
motivation. You have a motivation.
So I'm thinking, okay, I need to get off the diphenhydramine because, I've already got one kind of push in that direction and I want to stay healthy. I asked for a brain scan for Christmas for my husband and he said no. I just wanted to, I was like, can I please go see
Oh,
Dr. Daniel Amen? I wanted to go to Atlanta, get the whole workup. He's like, you're fine.
you're
But I just
good.
think it's so interesting, like the brain and how the brain and the gut are correlated. And I mean, I love all that. Anyway, he said I couldn't have it, but I'll keep working on him till I get it.
You keep working on him.
Yeah, I will.
Well, Judy, we have such a great plan here. I have zero doubts that you will blast to this goal with these tiny shifts that we made. These were not like, no, you have to eat only protein at every meal. You can't have, right? Like, we didn't say any of that.
No, not at
And
all.
that's what I want people to hear. It was all about realizing, right? Let me eat the way I eat at a restaurant at home, these smaller portions. Let me shift my behavior and do my prepping right after dinner before I even take that second portion. Let me leave the coloring books out. Let me just like all of these, they were we're tightening the edges, but I didn't tell you you can't have.
Yeah. And it was just tighten it a little bit. It wasn't like crazy.
Yeah. So I think this
I
is
love
great.
that.
I'm gonna send your notes in the web app, and then I need to be in touch with you like every day. I want to know what's going on. Okay.
Yes, please. Yes.
That's where the support and accountability comes in. Is like, I'm in there. Just let me know how you're doing. Let me know when that scale moves. Let me know how we're doing. And
Yep.
I can't wait to see you. Like, and then I need a picture of you on that cruise in your cute little
I
outfit.
will. I will. I'm so excited. Yay.
Well, thank you, Judy. This was
Thank
amazing.
you, Liz. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a beautiful day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye.